Guys, here we go. I know I've kept you waiting for too long, but it's finally here. Guys, this is the results of my hair transplant after 8 months. This is a video that I've actually been contemplating on whether to do it or not, but I guess I finally decided to do it because I just felt that a lot of people, because I had put it out there, I kind of owed people, you know, an update. So 8 months.
Hello guys, this is Fast Update TV. Fast Update TV. Fast Updates.
Abusuafo ya mama kwa babimba Fast Update TV. Aha Fast Update TV. Na wonim se ha no de. Ye basi ana ye trending news a twagu social media na de bremo. Na news no de anodin na before say the news ni be bremo no. Ye be sem mo be subscribe to your channel no. Na ma hit notification bell no so. Na ma share se na be ya nyonkwa na be hwe so nya so ehwe bi. Na mo comment no so no me ta ka se ehia ye pa. E a mo share mo comment na che se. Ehu de ye ye o message bo a mo be kire ne ade de ye. My channel na koso. Then news no different cry. Your friend brand TV or no or movie industry name or hosting reality show or some influencer. Nipa be look up to or no more like live your life. Our followers need be brain. And then your friend Howard Amenyah and asa Amenyah. On say it's not be boni bia sana need it. Oh no acquire transplant. Acquiring the hair transplant. So when him have a year, when him na ya the picture number 2 screen so. Ube say Nitino apa wa when him ni bia follow ni bia so na become so influencer. Nitina pa say wo hwa wa yusu ndrondo bebre dia e ba still na no. Tiri na pa. Nti hwa ono to one no se da bi. We di wo so ye hu bibi na wako take. Wako take we from real hair. Acquire transplant na the transplant no ni journey no your full video no from start to end out just say bibia details I here find a transplant in the bia de be ma na masa kwa na wabre pan because na nitina pan na mo draw line just say o mo tutu na tuku nwi ni bi de abehye ho no na just say na stress about form guti story na so on that or the neck pillow so just say no me bre ne kabo because so no kra enye sa transplant we anko nim se take kra no o mo visa boarding sa because visa no boarding plus hotel bed down oh Ghana wa brepa na ade ba ko esa mani trend years unim na the trend wa be trend so pen pa okoware gi obi omfe na Irene no so ware no ne wedding no mo ye no a trend pa o mo se girl no hwene so too much na ne ring no ne ho ankasa nya fe o mo sare nsi abrante kama na wakoware like mukui stem da ho ma no ye friend mukui to a trendy bibri ama e mani be ji din kura mo bia be hu ne sa na wo brante kama hu boy na be so very nice pa but enye no ne ye be kan transplant no wasem na ye be kan ti before say be mama ko he video no e be say mo say mo be subscribe ya mai na mo comment no say na me say ehia e pa ya e be say hu mo comment na afi so mo share na onua enye bi nhwe ti mo yanko he video na e ba e be to aso.
For too long, but it's finally here. Guys, this is the results of my hair transplant after 8 months. This is a video that I've actually been contemplating on whether to do it or not, but I guess I finally decided to do it because I just felt that a lot of people, because I had put it out there, I kind of owed people, you know, an update. So 8 months of visiting Istanbul, Turkey, to get my hairline back in shape. Where do I start from? Right, guys, so my name is Amenyah. I'm an actor, a creator, and a TV and event host based in Accra, Ghana. This is obviously a channel for my wife and I, but on this episode I take charge because it's all about my hair. 8 months ago, I decided to take a very bold step, you know, just go all the way to Istanbul, Turkey to get a hair transplant. Now, I get it. When I did this and I put it out, a lot of people didn't think I needed it. And on today's episode, maybe we would have to do a part 2 because I don't know, depending on how the conversation goes, we might do a part 2. So a lot of people thought I didn't need it because I had concealed my receding hairline for the most of the time, okay, for the most part of my life. People thought I didn't need it, and I'll show you how I used to hide it. Not die or anything like that. I'll get into all of that. So I did my hair transplant at a hospital called Reel of Hair. You can check them out on Instagram at Reel of Hair. So I'll drop their handle in this video so that you can check them out. So I took the bold step. We went through the process. First of all, after I reached out to them and we spoke, I told them about my condition and what I wanted to do, and then we exchanged contacts, and then we moved the conversation from Instagram to WhatsApp. Okay, where we did a video call. Okay, so before we did a video call, they actually asked me to take pictures of my hair, the front and the back. So they wanted to see where the hair loss was, and then they also wanted to see which part was the healthy region, because you know, during this video or later in this video, you would realize that they need a healthy part. So they need to export hair from the healthy part and import it into the unhealthy part. That's the losing area. And then they said, okay, my problem is not one of the major problems they have. We could go ahead and do it. And obviously, you know, they speak Turkish. I don't speak Turkish. I speak English. They don't speak English. So we needed a translator. So there was a three-way video call that was done amongst myself, the hospital owner or doctor, and then the translator. They just told me that it was possible. They told me the number of follicles that they were going to transport from the back to the front, because my hair loss was just a receding hairline. I'm not bald. I wasn't getting bald, which means that my hairline was backtracking and all that. So they just gave me a bit of information. You know, they told me how long it was going to take for me to stay indoors and not have to go out and all that. They sent me an invitation. I went on, applied for my Turkish visa, which is a story for another day. I didn't know that Turkish visas were so hard to attain. Not hard to attain per se, but one, very expensive. My Turkish visa is one of the most expensive visas I have. I got my visa, I booked a flight, and then it was time for me to go. The team from Reel of Hair picked me up from the airport in a limousine, in a very fancy limousine with my translator and all that. We went to have breakfast. It was a very fine morning, and then to meet the doctor who was going to work on my hair. You know, they have this package where they give you the opportunity to also tour some of the tourist sites in Istanbul. So that was very great, because it was my first me around after breakfast. Took a couple of pictures, you know, here and there, and then I was tired. They wanted to actually tour more places with me, but I just was tired. I think I was more fixated on the hair transplant than anything else. But yeah, so I did that, and then later went into my hotel, took a rest the next day. So was it a 4-day trip? Yeah, it was a 4-day trip. So I left Ghana on a certain day, and then I arrived Turkey the next day, and then on that day there was no surgery. It was just airport pickup, breakfast, and then the tourist attractions, and then back to my hotel. Now on day 2 in Turkey was the day for the surgery. They picked me up from the hotel in the afternoon, about 1 p.m, 2 p.m. thereabout. Had something to eat, and then, you know, it was time to go under the knife. This was something that I didn't see coming. But this surgery was actually the longest. For the record, I have not done any surgery apart from that one. So you can imagine, I've never had to lay on a table and get work done in any way. As if that wasn't enough, this was going to be a 7-hour journey. So I went into the consulting room. Before I went into the theater, you know, they got to draw my hair. They asked me how I wanted it, the shape I wanted it, and all that. They asked me if I wanted a perfect hairline. So a perfect hairline is one that you probably would not need a barber. If you ever needed a barber, it's just probably to cut your hair, but to shape your hair, no. It would be so perfect that you wouldn't need a barber. I opted for a natural look. So after that, it was time to go under the knife. So I said my prayers, and then I headed to the surgical room. So the whole thing is that obviously they're going to transport hair from one side or one region to another. So they had to inject anesthesia into my scalp so that I don't feel the pain throughout the process. Trust me, that was one of the most painful things. I'm not one of those people that are scared of injections. I take injections like a man. But that kind of injection on the scalp, injection on your scalp is not the same as injection on your butt. I think about after 15 minutes it kicked in and I couldn't feel my scalp again. It felt so heavy, like I could no feeling. And then they started. There was a couple that did the process. It was a husband and a wife that worked on my hair. So before they started plucking, they actually shaved all of my hair. So I went bald and they started, you know, plucking the hair from the back, one after the other. I did about, I say 8,000. I'll check and I'll put the correct number of follicles that were exported in the video. I think 4,000 or 8,000 or something like that. I'll check. Were plucked. So imagine, you know, that happening one after the other for that long. This was a 7-hour journey. After you're done, you take a break. So I went on a 30-minute break after the plucking. Was it dinner or whatever? Because I didn't even know what time it was anymore. At that time, I had completely lost track. I was tired. When they finished plucking my hair, at the point I thought it was over. Then they now told me that no, they were now going to start the real thing, okay, by planting it. And then I laid this time on my back, and then they started planting all the hair that they had transported from the back into my front. The front one is even longer. The plucking doesn't take as long as the planting. Why? Because with the planting, they have to create the holes. It's just like, it's very much like farming. You know how the farmers will have to dig before they put the seeds in there. The whole thing lasted for about 7.5 hours. We projected 7 hours, but they went beyond 7 hours. It was about 7.5 hours. When I finished, it was a good feeling. It's just like, I've never had a child before, but I guess that's what the feeling is. Just like a mother going into the labor ward, going through all the pain and still, you know, coming out very happy because they have their baby. That's how I felt. I was so tired and it came with rules, guys. So the doctor now told me that I couldn't sleep. So first of all, I was given some treatment that you're going to use to wash your hair, you know, and all that. They'll give you painkillers. They'll give you something to kind of, you know, ease your pressure on your head because your head has been through hell, literally. And then they also gave me a pillow. They gave me what looked like the travel pillow, what you put around your neck. So that's what I was supposed to use to sleep that night. I couldn't lay on the proper pillows because obviously this side was sore. That night I didn't sleep on my bed. I slept in my couch in the hotel. Same way I'm sitting right now, that's the way. So I had the pillow and then all I did was just to do this. My first night was one of the most difficult nights, but I felt that if I had come this far, then anything else was, you know, nothing. It was just a walk in the park. So I just took it like a man. The next morning, I spent one day after the surgery, one whole day in Turkey doing nothing, just indoors. I didn't move an inch. I was just supposed to relax and just recover. So that whole day, nothing, no visitations. I didn't go out of my hotel room that whole day and I couldn't sleep on my bed. So on day 4, the team came to my hotel and then they helped me take the bandage off and then they helped me wash my hair for the very first time. And then, you know, I was ready to go back to Ghana. But I was ready to go back to Ghana, not to go and lay on my head. I was still supposed to use that pillow for about 3 nights. And then, you know, when I came back to Ghana, it was a very great feeling to have done this, even though I had gone through so much pain. Of course, that's what I wanted. Once it was going to give me the results that I needed, I was in for it. I'm sure some people will be wondering, okay, so why did you do it in the first The first month post-transplant was the most difficult period in my life. I couldn't go out. I could only stay indoors because you can't expose your hair to the sun and all that. You know, you just have to just be still. So when you finish the process, usually the hair will start growing. The transplanted hair will start growing, you know, like a baby hair. And you think that that's it. So I was excited. I thought, okay, cool. This thing is happening faster than I thought. I remember calling some friends of mine and telling them that, look, the progress is already progressing. Unknown to me, all that was going to shed off. Literally. So that's what I was doing, indoors all the time. You know, you can't sleep properly because, you know, you can't mess up the head. You just have to lay in one position most of the time just so that you don't wreck it. I had to be indoors for at least 1 month. No physical exercise, so which means that I couldn't work. I couldn't work out. So you're just eating and sleeping, and that for me, for an active person like me, that was very depressing. All I did was to eat, sleep, and watch TV. And then after 1 month, the hair started shedding off. Also, another level of frustration, because I thought that, okay, the baby hair that was growing was literally the results that I was seeing. Unknown to me, it was just all going to shed off. So all the baby hair started shedding off, and I started losing all the hair in my front. Not the hair that I already had. No, the transplanted hair started falling off. So it fell one after the other. But you don't see it falling. It falls in a very weird way. You don't see it falling, but you literally see it. It keeps eroding. That area keeps eroding. In the 3rd month, I started seeing a bit of progress, but it wasn't any significant progress. Okay, it went on for about 2 months. I think the hair loss went on for about 2 months. I only started seeing progress after 3 months, and it was very, 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 very little progress. I had been told that I was supposed to be patient. I had been told that I was going to see results after 3 months, but really, that 3 months, if I'm to advise anybody, you start seeing results really after 6 months, because the progress you see after 3 months is not any significant progress. So you just start seeing very little hair cropping up and all that here and there. But I started seeing significant results after 6 months. I thought, oh, I had gone to do a hair transplant in September. I had done my calculations, and I thought, Charlie, I'll be ready for dirty December with my new hair. Lie. I got into March, and my hair was still looking like it was looking. 6 months, I started seeing some results. I could now get a haircut. So one of the things that you can't do in your first 6 months is, you can't go under a machine. You can't use a hair clipper or a blade or anything like that to cut your hair. You can only use scissors to kind of trim it. But I didn't even bother. I didn't use any of that. I just stayed put. I just knew that I had to just go through the process and make sure I get the best of results. My baba was excited and all that, because my baba was one of the people that actually motivated me to go do it, because barbers always like their clients to look fresh. So anything that will enhance their work, they are for it. In the first 6 months, you feel like you've wasted your time and money, because the progress, like I said, is very, very, very insignificant. It's very tiny progress, little progress. But if you're patient, yes, you can have this. I'm just so excited now. I comb my hair, and I can't believe it. Like before, anytime I'm going for an event, I have to go to the barbers and use what we call hair fibers. So I'm not promoting hair fibers on this video, but yeah, I used to use a lot of hair fibers to kind of hide my receding hairline. Over and done with hair fibers. Now I can, just shape my hair myself, because I've got clippers at home, and do my own thing. I'm not insecure about my hairline anymore. Very confident. My confidence is on 100 now. I did it for me, and
abusuafo video na makwa akwa haba no we dey fake news and say bibia mo guy na story no full story transplant from beginning to start. What show stress or form ni bibia, because they say they take you for any we dey uti power dey call we dey previous and call, because we guy na wa results na we say be fake news and say bibisa results na clear. Why are they? Because what take you both step, because me say you cry me tia pade a me dey me, because surgery going under the knife and then so no man yeah too much. But why are they all the same? Tia be here mo comment mo who mo comment dey mo dwen fa ho, but mo person mo corner so o kan ho say from real hair o mo take 2 weeks kan ko na person ko dey e dey wa around. Tia be here mo comment ti abusuafo na dey brem no e be some be subscribe na ma share notification bell no so am boss na be e drop video bia wo be hu e da was.